It's Inktober 1st. Inktober 1st. Oh my. Today is the day we start Inktober 2021! Maria here with myartpixie.com, and I would like to invite you to join me as I knock out my first drawing. I would like to share with you a few motivational quotes along the way. I think that our mindset is very important as we go into 31 days of drawing. So grab your paper and your pens, meet me at my desk, and let's start this first one together. Okay, the first mindset shift quote that I want to share with you, I'm going to go ahead and put up on the screen. And it says, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And Fred DeVito said this in an interview explaining that this was his motto for his fitness program called Exhale. This drawing challenge will change you. I promise. You just got to stick in there and give it all you've got. And I just want to say from the get-go, you know, who cares if you miss a day or if you have to skip a day or if maybe you have to do 2 drawings in one day to get caught up? This is for you, and just keep going. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just do this to help you grow as an artist. So keep that in mind as you are starting this challenge. So I have all of my pens. I went ahead and took them out of the case. They are brand new. It's a brand new set of Sakura Micron Pigma pens, and I have sizes 005 all the way to 08. So the whole set here, the set of 6. I shared in my last video all of the supplies that I was going to use, so I'm going to pop that up here at the top of the video so that you can go check that out if you want to. All right, so as I explained in that same video, I'm keeping all of my papers in the back pocket of my Erin Condren. This is my monthly planner, and I have day 1 here and ready to go. Okay, and it's probably hard to see, so I'm going to zoom in, but I have done a pre-sketch over it. And as you can see, when I zoom in, it's just a light sketch and not a lot of detail. And actually, let me go out a little bit. Okay, there we go. So in some of my sketches, I put a little more detail than others. And in some cases, I don't sketch at all. I just go straight in with the pens. It kind of depends on the theme and everything. So if you're following along with my Dreamcatcher's drawing prompts, you'll see that the first day is Dream. So I'm going to put Dream in my Dreamcatcher here, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about flat lay photography. As I'm drawing this, I'm just going to kind of draw and talk at the same time. And then I'm going to actually show you how I do my flat lay photography so that I can put it up on Instagram. So every time I get done, I do a photograph of my drawing, and then I put it up on Instagram when I get done. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I generally start with my 03 size. Of course, you can do, you know, whatever size that you feel comfortable with, or you can maybe use a different kind of fine liner or something like that. It definitely doesn't have to be this one. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit and talk to you about flat lay photography. So flat lay photography is basically using different items to lay down on a flat surface and take the picture from up above. I'll show you a few examples here on the side that I have done in the past with my Inktober. So I think this really adds to the fun and creativity that's involved with Inktober. And this is an extra step that I do. Some people just take pictures of the composition that they've done for Inktober, and that's totally fine and completely acceptable for Inktober itself. but I think it's just, well, maybe I go overboard with the creativity, but I thought it would be fun to take the opportunity to create something fun along with it. So I'm going to go into flat lay photography a little bit more at the end. I'm actually going to show you exactly what I do. But let's jump into our first quote. So the next quote is, "Do something today that your future self will thank you for," by Sean Patrick Flannery. Now, he was all about living his life with a growth mindset and just considering each day as an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. And I love that idea. So we kind of do that with Inktober, right? Because we're working each day to better ourselves and we're giving ourselves an opportunity to become better at art. And how do we do that? We do that with small bites. So maybe Inktober is just a way for you to learn a new technique. Maybe you've never done pen and ink before and you want to try it out. This is a great opportunity to do that. So to me, this quote really encompasses that, small bites mentality, that if I do something today, my future self will thank me for it because I have kind of laid that foundation and kind of built up to something. It doesn't have to be bigger or grander, but sometimes it helps you improve as an artist, and then you can do bigger pieces or do some pieces that you want to commission or do some pieces for gallery art and things like that. Okay, the third and final quote that I want to give you is one that is new to me, but I'm so glad I stumbled across it. This is it. "When you get tired, learn to rest, not quit." This was said by Bansky. If you're not familiar, he is a street artist, and I love that an artist said this. There's so many times where we get tired, but I think that the most important part is to just rest. Take a day off. It's totally fine. Or maybe you just want to do art 4 days a week. The most important part of this quote is the word rest. I think it's important that we take some time off, but equally the not quit, right? Because I think we all kind of get excited about this project and then we end up quitting because we're getting tired and that kind of thing. So if we just take a couple days off and come back to it, we're more refreshed, right? So that's my encouragement with this. If you feel overwhelmed with Inktober and you need to take a day off, then do it. There are no rules. Maybe take a couple days off. No big deal. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video. This is for you. So make it so. Okay, as I am wrapping up this drawing, I hope you have enjoyed it, and let's get into the lay flat photography. Alright, so now that I have finished my drawing, I'm going to show you how I do the photography. So I have this piece of wood that I'm going to put down on my tabletop. And I figured some of you might ask, but yes, I did put this together. So all I did was, and if you want a more detailed approach to this, just let me know and I can make a video about it. But I took 3 pieces of wood and I sanded them down, and then I'm going to flip it over, and on the back I have flat pieces of wood, and then I have used wood glue and staples, and they're the long, like I think they're 1.5 inches staples to secure it together. Flip it back over. And then I stained this side with some chalkboard paint. This was copper, and then of course this outside was white. So that's how I did this, and I made it so that I can do some of my lay flat photography. So I have this down on my desk, and I've got my dream. So I always like to put something else kind of around it just to kind of dress it up. So let me grab my ribbon. Okay, so I bought this ribbon at Michael's, and it may look familiar if you've seen it. It's usually hanging on an end cap, and that's where I found it, but it's a bundle. So it has all come together, and I believe they're each a yard long, and then they attach it here in the middle so that you have all of this yarn. So I thought this would be so fun with the dream catcher to take a picture with it. So I'm literally just going to lay it out, kind of fluff it a little bit here and there, and then I'm going to lay my dream catcher drawing on here. Now I always like to highlight any tools that I've used or supplies that I've used as well. So I'm just going to grab a couple. I think I'm going to do, and it really doesn't matter, you know, what number pin I use, but I'm going to make it so that you can read the pen. So if anyone is looking at the picture and they are like, ooh, what kind of pen is that? Then they can scroll in, right? And they can see what kind of pen that I used. Okay, and then I just kind of work it out so that I get the look that I want. Let's see, maybe just kind of work with it a little bit, fluffing that out. And let's see, I want some of this purple coming through. So it's just you know, whatever you want to do, of course. And I'll put some of that under. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my pens and I'm going to lay them on the paper. So this one and this one. And if you know, these don't roll if you put the it on the, hopefully if you guys can see this, I'll push it up a little bit. There you go. They won't roll if you have them kind of leaning on the cap. So that's what I have a tendency to do, just so that it, you know, looks like it won't roll around. And then I just want to make sure that that 3 is up. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to take my camera and I'm going to take a few pictures until I kind of get, you know, the look that I want. Okay, and then after that I'm done, and then I can go upload it on to Instagram. So super simple kinds of things that you can use. I want to show you too. Here's a drawer that I have specifically for, okay, wait. Here is a drawer that I have specifically with some props that I've collected over the years. I didn't run out and get all of this stuff. These are things that I've kind of collected over the years. So you can do the same thing. You can just start collecting a few things here and there, so that you can use them for the lay flat photography. So each week when I'm sharing my drawings, I'm also going to include my lay flat photography and how I do it. Sometimes I do it outside. Like if I go to the park, I'll do the lay flat photography right there in the park. Other times I will hold it up in my hand and let the background kind of blur out. So that's not technically lay flat photography, but I do like that look as well. So, you know, the whole idea is to have fun with it as an extension of your Inktober. Not necessary, just something that I do, and I wanted to share it with you. If you still want to grab my Dreamcatcher's drawing prompt list, you still can. It's available on my website. I'll put the link below. Until next time, bye!